Hey there! I am just going to do a quick video real quick of some of my Amazon lately items, things that I have bought recently that have been 2 thumbs up types of things. I just thought I would share a quick video of that. So I have 3 kid products, 3 fun items, and then 1 homeschool thing. So I will start with the kids stuff. The first thing that I've bought off of Amazon recently, I bought these Crayola mess-free blank pages. I'm sure most people are probably familiar with the coloring books, but did you know that you can buy just blank sheets of paper that have this special magic marker? If you aren't familiar with it, I'll show you. So it doesn't come with it, but you can buy, most of the coloring books come with a set of markers with it that will only show up on this special paper, where like if I colored it on regular paper, it does leave ink. It's not like totally magic, but it is clear. So these have always been a hit for my kids. This and like water mats. Anytime that we were going somewhere where, especially like when they were little, when I wanted to help keep them busy, but I didn't want them to make a mess or to ruin anything, like if we were going to somebody's house that like didn't have kids, you know, that was a great opportunity to bring something like that so that they had something to color on, but I wasn't like hovering over them, making sure they didn't accidentally cover over the edge and color on their floors or something like that. So I bought another pack of these blank sheets right before we went out of town recently because, again, it's a staple. We were staying at an Airbnb. I don't want to be worried about having to clean up any markers that accidentally went off the edge of the page. So those are great for that. My next item is a kid's, what is this called? Metal detector. That's what it's called. It really works. I know it looks like really kitty and like it wouldn't, but it's a real metal detector. I don't know how well it works, and I don't think it can get wet, so you gotta be careful if you bring it to the beach. But we gave this to our son for his 8th birthday over the summer. I wanted to get him something like a toy, but that wasn't just, you know, gonna go in the toy bin. Something that was a little bit different, that, you know, something he could play with outside, that kind of a thing. So it's been a big hit. He's really enjoyed it. And then my last kid item are actually his flip-flops. I went and stole them out of his shoe bin. These are kids' rainbows. I don't know if you've tried rainbows yet. We live in Florida. Flip-flops are basically everyday wear, and rainbows are fantastic. They're so comfortable. Somebody asked me recently where I got my kids' flip-flops from because she needed some. The little kids ones you can buy them with a strap on the back. The little kid ones, I think they're only like $11 on Amazon. They're really cheap. These ones maybe were closer to like 20, the bigger kid size, but this is one item, just every age and size up that they get, we just order another pair. They have like dark brown, light brown, but literally we're wearing them every day. They go to the beach, on the boat, get washed in the pool, in the shower, and they still look pretty decent. So I love my rainbows, my husband loves his, and our kids like theirs too. So those were my kid items that I bought off of Amazon recently. And then I have a few more grown-up fun items because those are important too when you're trying to build family unity. I've already mentioned traveling. A lot of this is actually about traveling, so I'll share that next. But I strongly believe that adult siblings who get to go on trips together and have fun together will have a better bond than those who don't. Like any form of like continued fun is what I usually say, but like fun as an adult together as siblings is a real gift and a bonding thing for when they're older. But family travel, I think, is one of the best ways to do that. So this doesn't exactly pertain to that, but it does pertain to travel. I was in desperate need of a new makeup bag. The one I had, had been using was just old and worn out and kind of small. And the last trip I took, I just threw my makeup in a gallon-sized bag. The gallon-sized bag was fine, the Ziploc bag was fine, but every time I was doing my makeup, I was kind of having to pull everything out, even though I didn't want to use everything at one time, just to like kind of get into it. So I had seen a design like this somewhere else and it was expensive. And then came across this one on Amazon for much, much cheaper. So I was really excited about it. It's cool because like you can tell it's pretty large. Love the color, love the gold and the garnet together. But I'm trying to hold this up for the camera. If you open it, it's really cool. The way that it's a little messy here. Really struggling. But it opens up flat like that and then into like, into a few different pouches. So that's definitely not the best advertising for this bag, but it's a really, really cool bag and I'm excited to use it. It is filled right now, not because I'm going anywhere, but okay, so I'm the type of person that loves to have one backup item of everything that I use consistently. So for example, like my makeup, my deodorant, hair gel, hairspray, even in the kitchen, things like cooking spray or salt or like any of those things that like if you run out of, then you're in trouble and you have to run to the store to get another one. So I just always keep a backup. The way I do it is when I finish one thing off, then I put it on my list to buy the next one, but I already have the backup one. And so by the time I've bought, that gives me like a wiggle room to have time to buy the next one. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sure there's probably something messed up with my brain and that I do that, but I just don't like having to run out for stuff at the last minute. And I was thinking about it recently, the last trip that we took, I was like, man, I have backups of everything. It would be so nice if I just kept my bag kind of packed with my toiletries for the most part. And I'm kind of doing that. I kind of already did it, but with makeup, I was like, I have a second mascara, a second eyeliner. Like I have a second of everything so that as soon as I run out of one, I have the next one ready. What if I just stored my backup one in my bag already packed? And then that way, when I go on a trip, which, with Thad's Kelly days, we do fairly often, even if it's just a night here or there, I don't have to pack anything. It's all ready to go. How about that? I'm really excited to kind of test this theory a little bit more because I think that I might become a really fast packer if most of my stuff is already packed. And I'm keeping this in my duffel bag so that, say we go somewhere and we're going to the water park the next day and I'm not going to bring any makeup with me, well then anything I don't need, I just will take out and leave at home. But it's easier to unpack a bag than it is to pack it. So that is one of my fun travel things that I'm really excited about. The next one, oh, this is a fun one too. It is not my cup. It's another bag. This I actually saw while we were on a trip to Orlando in a little store, like a little gift shop at somewhere. But then I bought it on Amazon. It is a little zippered pouch that I would show you, but I'm recording on my phone. My phone fits in here. So I originally bought it to put like chapsticks, hand sanitizer, that kind of stuff. I like a lot of tinted chapstick and I have accidentally washed it, left it in my pocket and washed it a few too many times and ruined mine and Thad's clothes on accident. And I thought, okay, well, if I put it in here, I often have a cup of water with me. So then that would hopefully save some of our clothes. But what I actually ended up really, really loving this bag for is taking it on the boat, because anytime we're on the boat, I don't really have somewhere to put my phone. I can, put it in my beach bag, zip it away and put it away. But as soon as somebody catches a fish, I have to like go digging for it to try and take pictures. Or I could throw it up like on the console, but then I would be worried about it like flipping around or getting wet or something. This is so solid. I'm not worried about it getting wet because it completely zips and covers it. but it's also, you know, like really easy to grab if I just have this in my cup holder and then I can grab it out really quick. I don't know. It's probably like way too much, but anyway, it's from Swig on Amazon. I love this bag. Finally, my last fun thing is something that we brought on our the last trip we took. Yeah. The last trip we took was with the 4 of us and then my parents and my brother. And I had seen this game on Instagram, but I did buy it on Amazon. But it, like, you know, advertised to me on Instagram, and it's called Slip It In. I thought that the guys would kind of give me a hard time about playing this game, but they were great about it, and we ended up having so much fun. So the way it works is everybody gets like a handful of cards personally, and it really works well if you're spending like a decent amount of time, like a weekend or a week together. We were there for a week and it was perfect. So we opened it up, I think the first night. Each person got, I don't remember, several cards, and each card has a phrase or a word, and it's really random stuff. Like, okay, here's one. I'm thinking of getting a tattoo. Let me see what another one is. Thankfully it was only a shark. I don't trust people who eat candy corn. So those are some of the phrases, but there's like some weird ones that are just a single word too. And it was like a little risque, but nothing on there was horrific. I don't see, it does say 17 plus, so keep that noted. And I haven't seen all of them yet because we want to play this again with our friends in a few weeks when we go out of town. And the more, it works best if you don't know what's on the other cards. So I didn't want to like preview them. It was all adults playing. Yes, our kids were around, but we're good at using filters. So anyway, what you try and do is you slip your phrase or word into conversation without anybody noticing. And I'm pretty sure it says like after 30 seconds, you're allowed to say, ha, I slipped one in. But if somebody in that amount of time before you say it, somebody else can call you out on it and say, that was a slip. And if they're right, I think they get to maybe like exchange one. Like if they don't like one of theirs, they can put it back and get a new one, I think. And if they're wrong, we made it where they got a penalty. I don't think the rules said that you got a penalty, but we're like, then everybody's gonna just keep calling it. So we had a blast with this. We played it all week long. Thad won over and over and over again because he already says the most ridiculous things. And there were just so many that he was able to easily slip in because we didn't catch him because he already says all kinds of crazy stuff. So we really had a lot of fun with this, and like I said, we're getting ready to go on a trip with some friends and are hoping to bring it along and play it again. So like, you talk about adult fun with grown-up siblings, we had a blast with this. And then one last item that I have is a homeschool item, and it is the book Know and Tell: The Art of Narration by Karen Glass. This might sound dramatic, but this book I feel like is changing my life. The art of narration, the idea of narration. I have always said, if you can learn how to read, then you can learn anything, right? Now, YouTube University changes things, and you can learn a lot from that too. If you don't learn how to read or aren't, you know, don't feel like you learn well by reading. But this just backs up that idea so well. And if you combine narration with reading, then I feel like you can just grow, so like have such a deep knowledge of whatever subject you want to. Whatever you want to read about and learn about, your knowledge of it, I feel like, can just get so deep. So I'm really enjoying it. I am only about halfway right now. I have a 3rd grader and a kindergartner who, he's about to turn 6. So he has been he's about to turn 6. Because we use a lot of Charlotte Mason type curriculums, styled curriculums, they're pretty familiar with getting asked tell me about type questions. And even, can you narrate that back to me every now and then? But as my oldest especially is becoming a more and more independent reader, I want to start challenging him to do more narrations. He did one today that was excellent. I had to get ready, I had to take a shower, and normally he would read to me. And what we've been doing lately is he will read out loud to me and not narrate, have no narration, or he'll read out loud to me and then like I'll narrate the first half of the chapter and he'll narrate the second half. That's where we're at right now. But today I had to get in the shower. I was like, buddy, I can't listen to you. I'm sorry. You read it to yourself and then tell me about it when I get out of the shower. And, you know, I didn't read the chapter. I don't know. But he just went on and on and on telling me about this chapter and did a really great job. So I'm just so excited to start implementing this more. I've been taking a lot of notes, obviously, and writing down a lot of quotes, but I started doing written narrations for each little section. I feel like my brain is not practiced enough to be able to do entire chapters. But just taking it section by section, I've been doing written narrations while reading this book so that I can understand it even more. And now I have a list of books that I would like to reread one day that like maybe I listened to on audio or read a long time ago, and I want to just sit down with them again and go at it in my hand at a much slower, deeper pace. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, if I add in narration, written narration along with that, like I feel like I will just get a total grasp of each of these books that I really enjoyed but want to dive into even more, if that makes sense. So this, yeah, great homeschool resource. And my house is getting louder and louder. I apologize for the background noise. These are just a few of the items that I have been loving off of Amazon lately. I would love to hear if you have tried any of them before or have any other recommendations for me. Let me know in the comments below. Have a great day.